Hey guys, in this video, I'll show you how to create a new user in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center and assign a license to them. In Microsoft ecosystem, there are multiple ways to achieving the same result, and what I'll be showing here is the Admin Center approach. A clean, practical starting point before we move into identity and security in more depth later on. I'll also touch base on user templates and how to save them in this video. Let's dive in. Alright guys, so back in the Admin Center here, what we'll do is we will first add the user and then assign the license to them as part of this process. We can do this on the home screen. We can click on this add user icon here. Otherwise, on the left hand menu, we can expand the users and go to active users and add a user from here. So let's just go ahead and start this process. I'll be entering the user's details in the first name and last name. Now I want you to notice that as soon as I click on the tab button or just click on the display name, it will auto-populate the first name and last name based on what I've entered earlier. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Now in my organization, I want all the users to have the username, which is the first letter of the first name and the full last name. And for the domain name, I'll be choosing epiphanygems.com, which you registered with this tenancy in the last video. Next, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this box because I want to be creating a strong temporary password for the user. And what happens is after this account is created, I'll be sharing this password with this user, and then this checkbox ensures that when this user enters this temporary password, they'll be forced to create a new password, which is what I want. So let's just go ahead and create this temporary password. Alright, after this, we'll click Next. So I'm going to leave Australia as the location, and under licenses, there is Microsoft 365 Business Premium license, and there is 24 licenses available out of 25 in total. So I'll be assigning this user this license. And under Applications, you'll see, if we expand this down arrow, we can see that all these applications will be available to this user upon us giving the license to them. Now there might be a scenario where you may not want certain users to have certain applications based on what their job duties and responsibilities are. That's fine. So here you can simply uncheck what you don't want that user to have the application access to as part of the license. But in my case, I'll leave all the applications as is, and let's go next. Alright, now in this section, we can optionally choose to give roles to this user, but the best security recommended practice is not to do it here, but rather use Privileged Identity Management or PIM to do so. In the next few videos, I will be covering this topic and I'll show you exactly how to use PIM to assign roles to any user in your environment. Since we're here, let's just go ahead and expand this option. And as you can see, the default role selected for this user is always going to be the standard user account. Otherwise, if you were to assign roles from here, and if you just select Admin Center Access, you can assign any of these roles to your user. And if you expand by category, so you can see that under Collaboration, I have all these roles available, which I can assign to the user simply by checking the box. And under Devices, these are the roles, etc. The Global Admin. Alright, in my case, I will just be giving this user a standard account for now. And I want to expand this section just to show you that you can enter all the details, profile details for this user based on their job role. Because this is a test account, I'm going to be just leaving the section alone and hitting Next. Alright, so this is where I can review all the details of this user, and I'm happy with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish adding the user. Alright, so at this point, the user has been assigned the Microsoft 365 Business Premium and the account has been created. And what happens is, because this license includes Exchange Online, Microsoft will automatically create the user's email mailbox in the background, right? So there's nothing else I need to configure here. Mailbox provisioning usually completes within a few minutes. Alright, before I finish, I can actually save these user settings as a template, which basically lets me to reuse the same license and basic profile settings when creating future users, which saves time. So just for the purposes of testing, I'm going to name this test template, and I'm going to be saving this template, which we'll go through in a second. I'm going to go ahead and click on close. The first thing what I want you to notice is if we refresh this page, you will notice that the new account has been created, and you will notice the license that's been assigned to this user as well. All right, which is great. All right, and for the template that we chose to save, what it will help us do is it will help us create new user accounts quickly with the settings that we saved for Michael Smith. All right, and as far as the templates go, it will be saved under user templates. Let's click on this one we saved. And as you can see, I can enter the user's details and use this template to quickly fill out the rest of the details. So essentially using the test template in this case is going to save me time for creating new user under the same domain name with the same location and the same business premium license requirement. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this. And this is how you basically create a user account and assign a license to them in your tenancy. All right, so at this point, we have created the user and we have assigned a license, and we have also saved a template so that we can create future users with more ease and with more consistency. There are multiple ways to creating users in Microsoft 365, but Admin Center is the most approachable place to start. In the next video, we'll look at what happens when this user signs in for the first time, including the temporary password flow and the sign-in experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.